Technical Surveillance Countermeasures (TSCM) sweeps a comprehensive examination. Introduction. Technical Surveillance Countermeasures (TSCM) sweeps represent a critical discipline in the field of security and counterintelligence, designed to detect, identify, and neutralize unauthorized surveillance devices and techniques. Often referred to as bug sweeps or electronic countermeasures, TSCM involves systematic searches for eavesdropping equipment, hidden cameras tracking devices, and other forms of technical espionage. In an era where technology permeates every aspect of life from corporate boardrooms to private residences, the need for TSCM has escalated dramatically. Governments, businesses, and individuals alike face threats from state actors, corporate spies, cybercriminals, and even personal adversaries who exploit affordable surveillance tools. The importance of TSCM cannot be overstated. Sensitive information, be it trade secrets, classified data, or personal conversations, can be compromised through seemingly innocuous devices like wireless microphones or GPS trackers. A successful TSCM sweep not only uncovers these threats, but also restores confidence in the security of a space. For instance, in high-stakes environments such as diplomatic missions or executive suites, regular TSCM operations are standard protocol to mitigate risks of information leakage. This essay delves into the multifaceted world of TSCM sweeps, exploring their historical development, underlying principles, essential tools, procedural methodologies, inherent challenges, real-world case studies, and emerging trends. By examining TSCM from these angles, we aim to provide a thorough understanding of how this practice safeguards privacy and security in an increasingly surveilled world. As digital threats evolve, so too must countermeasures, making TSCM an indispensable tool in the arsenal of modern security professionals. Historically, TSCM emerged during periods of intense geopolitical tension, but its applications have broadened to include corporate espionage prevention and personal privacy protection. Today, with the proliferation of Internet of Things devices and smart home technologies, TSCM sweeps are more relevant than ever. Professionals in this field must blend technical expertise with investigative acumen, often operating under strict confidentiality to avoid alerting potential adversaries. Historical development of TSCM *. The roots of technical surveillance countermeasures can be traced back to the early 20th century, but the practice truly formalized during the Cold War. In the 1940s and 1950s, as espionage between superpowers intensified, nations began developing sophisticated methods to detect hidden listening devices. One seminal event was the discovery of the Great Seal bug in 1945, planted by Soviet agents in a wooden carving gifted to the US ambassador in Moscow. This passive resonator device, activated by microwave signals, evaded detection for 7 years until a TSCM sweep, using emerging radio frequency detection technology, uncovered it. This incident underscored the need for systematic countermeasures and spurred the US government to invest in TSCM programs. By the 1960s, TSCM had become a specialized field within intelligence agencies like the CIA and NSA. The Vietnam War era saw advancements in portable detection equipment as military units needed to secure forward operating bases against enemy bugs. Commercial applications emerged in the 1970s with the Watergate scandal, where illegal wiretaps highlighted vulnerabilities in political and corporate settings. This led to the establishment of private TSCM firms catering to businesses wary of industrial espionage. The 1980s and 1990s marked a technological leap driven by the microprocessor revolution. Analog bugs gave way to digital devices, prompting TSCM tools to evolve from simple radio frequency detectors to spectrum analyzers capable of identifying frequency hopping signals. The end of the Cold War shifted focus to economic espionage, with cases like the 1993 Volkswagen Opel scandal involving stolen blueprints via hidden microphones. International standards began to form, with organizations like the American Society for Industrial Security offering certifications in TSCM. In the post-9/11 world, TSCM integrated with counter-terrorism efforts. The Patriot Act in the United States expanded surveillance powers, paradoxically increasing the demand for countermeasures among those concerned about government overreach. The rise of cyber-physical threats in the 2010s, such as Stuxnet-like attacks on infrastructure, blended TSCM with cybersecurity, leading to hybrid sweeps that check for both physical bugs and malware. Today, TSCM has adapted to the ubiquity of smart devices. The proliferation of Internet of Things, gadgets, smart speakers, thermostats, and cameras has created new vectors for surveillance. High-profile incidents like the 2022 leak of corporate Zoom calls via compromised webcams have driven demand for advanced TSCM services. Globally, countries like China and Russia continue to refine state-sponsored TSCM to counter Western intelligence, while private sectors in Europe and the United States emphasize compliance with GDPR and similar privacy laws. The evolution of TSCM reflects broader technological and societal shifts. From rudimentary sweeps using metal detectors to AI-assisted analyses, the field has grown in sophistication, ensuring it remains a vital defense against evolving threats. Principles of TSCM sweeps ***. At its core, TSCM operates on the principle that all surveillance devices emit detectable signatures, whether electromagnetic, acoustic, or physical. Sweeps are methodical processes to identify anomalies that indicate covert monitoring. There are two primary categories: electronic or technical and physical searches, often combined for comprehensiveness. Electronic principles revolve around signal detection. Surveillance devices typically transmit data via radio frequency signals, infrared, or ultrasonic waves. TSCM professionals use spectrum analysis to scan for unauthorized frequencies. For example, a bug might operate on the 2.4 GHz band, overlapping with Wi-Fi, requiring demodulation to distinguish malicious signals. Nonlinear junction detection is another key principle, exploiting the fact that electronic components in bugs create harmonic responses when illuminated by a probe signal. This allows detection of even powered-off devices. Physical principles involve tactile and visual inspections. Hidden cameras or microphones can be concealed in everyday objects, so sweeps include disassembling furniture, checking HVAC vents, and examining electrical outlets. Thermal imaging detects heat from active electronics, while endoscopes probe hard-to-reach areas. A foundational TSCM principle is the threat model assessment. Before a sweep, evaluators determine the likely adversary, state actor, competitor, or insider, and tailor methods accordingly. High-threat environments might require white noise generators to mask conversations during sweeps, preventing remote activation of bugs. Another principle is layered detection, starting with broadband scans and narrowing to specific anomalies. False positives like legitimate Wi-Fi routers are mitigated through signal intelligence techniques, such as direction finding to pinpoint sources. TSCM also adheres to the zero-trust model, assuming compromise until proven otherwise. This extends to post-sweep recommendations, like implementing Faraday shielding or regular ray sweeps. In practice, principles emphasize discretion. Sweeps are conducted covertly to avoid tipping off adversaries who might remotely deactivate devices. Ethical principles guide operations, ensuring compliance with laws like the United States Electronic Communications Privacy Act. Overall, TSCM principles blend science, strategy, and vigilance, forming a robust framework for countering technical threats. Tools and equipment used in TSCM sweeps ***. TSCM professionals rely on a suite of specialized tools ranging from handheld detectors to advanced analyzers. These are essential for covering the spectrum of potential threats. Radio frequency spectrum analyzers are the cornerstone devices, like the Anritsu models or portable units from Rode and Schwarz, which scan frequencies from 9 kHz to 6 GHz or higher. They display signal strength modulation types and demodulate audio to confirm bugs. For minimal setups, affordable options like the Tiny SA Ultra provide basic functionality. Nonlinear junction detectors such as the REI ORION emit a signal and detect harmonics from semiconductor junctions in hidden electronics. These are crucial for finding dormant devices. Thermal imagers like FLIR models detect heat signatures from batteries or circuits. Paired with infrared cameras, they reveal anomalies in walls or ceilings. Acoustic detectors identify ultrasonic or infrasonic bugs. Tools like the Rabbler noise generator create white noise to jam microphones during sweeps. For wired threats, time domain reflectometers check cables for taps by measuring signal reflections. Optical time domain reflectometers do the same for fiber optics. Portable X-ray systems or borescopes allow non-destructive inspection of objects. Metal detectors and magnetometers find trackers with ferrous components. Software tools enhance hardware. OSCOR Green analyzes demodulated signals, while apps like Wi-Fi analyzers on tablets map networks for rogue access points. Cyber TSCM tools like malware scanners check devices for spyware. Network analyzers inspect traffic for anomalies. Vehicle-specific tools include undercarriage mirrors and GPS jammers for testing, not deployment. In high-end kits, drone-mounted sensors extend reach to rooftops. AI-integrated tools emerging in recent years use machine learning to classify signals faster. Maintenance is key. Tools require calibration to standards like NIST for accuracy. Professionals often carry redundant units to avoid downtime. These tools, when wielded expertly, transform TSCM from guesswork to precision engineering. Step-by-step process of a TSCM sweep. Conducting a TSCM sweep is a structured multi-phase operation requiring meticulous planning and execution. Phase 1: Preparation. Pre-sweep assessment. Begin with client consultation to understand the space threat level and objectives. Sign non-disclosure agreements for confidentiality. Conduct a site survey. Map the area. Note electronics and identify high-risk zones like conference rooms. Assemble a team 2 to 4 members for efficiency and equipment. Establish a clean command post outside the site to avoid contamination. Phase 2: Initial electronic scan. Enter discreetly, often at off hours. Activate white noise generators to mask activities. Perform a broad radio frequency sweep using spectrum analyzers to baseline ambient signals. Log legitimate sources, Wi-Fi cell towers, and flag anomalies. Use direction-finding antennas to triangulate suspicious signals. Phase 3: Physical inspection. Systematically search rooms. Check ceilings for pinhole cameras, furniture for hidden compartments, and outlets for bugs. Use thermal imagers to scan for heat. Disassemble suspicious items non-destructively. For vehicles, inspect undercarriage, engine bay, and interiors. Phase 4: Advanced detection. Deploy nonlinear junction detectors to probe walls and objects for electronics. Test phone lines with time domain reflectometers for taps. Scan for laser microphones by checking windows for reflective vulnerabilities. Use acoustic correlators to detect audio leaks. Phase 5: Cyber and network check. Inspect computers and networks for malware or unauthorized devices. Run vulnerability scans and check Internet of Things gadgets for backdoors. Phase 6: Verification and neutralization. REI scan anomalies. If a device is found, document it. Photos signals without removal unless authorized. Often it is left for counterintelligence. Neutralize via jamming, removal, or shielding. Phase 7: Reporting and follow-up. Compile a detailed report, findings, recommendations, for example encryption, REI sweeps. Debrief client on preventive measures. This process, typically 4 to 8 hours per site, ensures thorough coverage. Challenges and limitations of TSCM sweeps. Despite its efficacy, TSCM faces significant hurdles. One major challenge is the rapid evolution of surveillance technology. Modern bugs use burst transmissions or spread spectrum techniques, making them hard to detect during short sweeps. Miniaturization allows devices to be as small as a grain of rice, evading physical searches. False positives plague operations. Benign signals from nearby electronics can mimic threats, leading to unnecessary alarm. In dense urban areas, signal clutter from 5G networks complicates analysis. Resource intensity is another limitation. Comprehensive sweeps require expensive tools and trained personnel, costing thousands per session. Small businesses or individuals may opt for inadequate do-it-yourself methods, missing sophisticated threats. Legal constraints vary. In the United States, sweeps on public property are straightforward, but private spaces require consent. International operations must navigate diverse privacy laws. Human factors introduce risks. Insider threats can plant devices post-sweep, necessitating ongoing vigilance. Fatigue during long operations can lead to oversights. Technological limitations include battery-dependent tools, failing in remote areas, or nonlinear junction detectors, struggling with shielded devices. Despite these advancements, like artificial intelligence, mitigate some issues, but TSCM remains an imperfect science, demanding constant adaptation. Case studies in TSCM ** real-world applications illustrate TSCM value. In 2018, a US tech firm discovered Chinese-planted bugs in their servers during a routine sweep averting data theft. The operation used nonlinear junction detectors and spectrum analysis to identify the devices. Another case, the 2020 Uber executive espionage scandal, where a rival planted audio bugs in vehicles. A TSCM team uncovered them via thermal imaging, leading to legal action. In personal contexts, celebrities have employed TSCM to counter stalkers, using GPS trackers, demonstrating its versatility. These examples highlight TSCM role in preventing losses. Future trends in TSCM *. Looking ahead, TSCM will integrate artificial intelligence for real-time anomaly detection and quantum-resistant encryption checks. Drone swarms could automate large area sweeps, while nanotechnology counters will address microscopic threats. With rising artificial intelligence-driven surveillance, TSCM may incorporate ethical artificial intelligence audits. Global standardization driven by bodies like ISO will enhance interoperability. Conclusion: TSCM sweeps stand as a bulwark against the encroachment of unauthorized surveillance, evolving from Cold War necessities to essential modern practices. Through historical insights, principled approaches, advanced tools, and rigorous processes, TSCM safeguards sensitive information. Despite challenges, its future promises greater efficacy via innovation. In a world of pervasive technology, TSCM ensures privacy endures, reminding us that vigilance is the price of security. TSCM not only detects threats, but fosters a culture of awareness. Businesses investing in regular sweeps report fewer breaches, while governments use them to maintain diplomatic integrity. Individuals too benefit from services amid rising personal surveillance risks. Ultimately, TSCM embodies the ongoing battle between innovation in espionage and countermeasures. As threats sophisticate, so must our defenses, making TSCM an evergreen field.